Welcome to What's the Scenario with PLRB, where we explore claims and cover scenarios relevant to insurance professionals. I'm Brendan McLaughlin.
Hi, Brendan. I'm Mike Brode.
I'm Dana Groden, Vice President of Gemcor and co-founder of DigiPhrase.
And I'm Allison McClaney, also the Vice President of Gemcor and the other co-founder of DigiPhrase.
Yay.
All right, welcome back.
Yes.
And Dana, what's the scenario?
Scenario is you're a new exhibitor and you're excited and anxious about your first visit to the PLRB Claims Conference. How will you handle the rushes of attendees and the breaks between them? How will you build relationships that will last after you leave the expo floor? What tone will you strike with members? Gemcor, my company, has been attending PLRB since 1984, just 3 years after our dad, Rich Heiss, founded the company. It's the one conference we commit to every single year, and today we're going to share our perspective.
All right, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But I heard you have an icebreaker for us.
Ooh.
We do. Allie, what has been your favorite PLRB city we've attended and why?
Oh, I didn't. Okay. So I've gone to 25. So I've been to a lot. And I have different logic as to why I would like each one. So as a vendor, the expo hall is definitely important.
Yep.
Proximity to the parties and the restaurants and the host events, definitely important. Drivability, Orlando rings high as we're in Miami. But I will say, and I don't know if I'm taking Dana's answer because we did not even discuss this.
Ooh.
I'm really excited to be back in DC this year. I first of all love DC, but Dana and I were there in 2020 and we had already set up our booth and it looked like it was going to be an awesome hall and the hotel is amazing. And then it was shut down for COVID. So I'm super excited to give DC a try. And I'm looking forward to this year's 2026 Expo in DC.
Awesome.
Dana, what about you?
We had a great time that year because basically we were there Saturday night. We were fully set up. Sunday morning, we got the word that the conference was canceled. And instead of flying home Sunday afternoon, we wound up flying home as scheduled on Tuesday night. And we were basically hanging out in the hotel for 2 days. It was completely deserted and empty. Right. But I used to live in DC and still have a lot of friends there, and Allie does as well. So they came and visited, and we had a great 2 days just exploring the empty Gaylord Hotel.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there was a very weird, scary, uncertain feeling in the air. So I also am looking forward to what the legitimate PLRB convention will be in Washington. But my favorite city thus far, we're thinking about this. I loved Boston. I've loved all the times we've been, but I have to say Indianapolis is kind of, I feel very comfortable in Indianapolis. I like the setup where you can completely stay in the covered walkways and don't have to go outside at all. But the experiences, like I've been now to the racetrack twice, including getting to actually ride in the car along the edge of the racetrack, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Wow. And the parties have been first rate, but most importantly, because it's centrally located, I feel like PLRB has had a great turnout you'll agree, Mike, right on this. It was a great turnout because it is so centrally located. So we were able to see our West Coast clients. We were able to see our East Coast clients. Getting there was super easy. Getting to from the airport to the hotel, everything was wonderful. And I've loved those experiences. Washington for me is still pretty well located. And I'm really excited because I have yet to go to a conference there. I think this is the first time it's there for real. I don't recall going to a PLRB conference previously, and I've also been to about 20, 25 years worth of conferences.
No, you're right. It was, we did a large loss there back before I was with PLRB and was actually a presenter. So that one was kind of cool. But yes, it brings up bittersweet for your humble host here, Michael Brode, because that was my first PLRB conference that I was in charge of. Just came on board in 2019. That thing, like you said, you guys have been there 25 plus years. The conference has gone off without a hitch forever and a day until guess who joins, and we're excited to be back. And yeah, you weren't the only two there till Tuesday. I mean, it was me, Alicia, and Tom were also
That's
there.
right.
Yeah, you're
That's
right. It was very scary to walk. It is a huge complex, and when you're walking around there, and it was just really quiet, and yeah, it was crazy.
Bizarre. It was bizarre.
We'll be back in 2030 as well. So
very cool.
Awesome.
Very
awesome.
good.
Look forward to that one. All right.
We'll re-air this episode right before then.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
We'll do a follow-up. We'll let you know how it goes. So yeah.
Exactly.
What's your favorite city, Brennan? You've been to a number of claims conferences.
I would have to agree. Walkability is a big thing for me. I like it when the crowd matches the space really well, so it's not too crowded, but it's also not too spread out. It's nice to kind of have everybody have that right density where people are still bumping into each other and making those connections. Indianapolis, I mean, maybe I'm biased because I'm Indiana.
Yeah, maybe
over here. But I thought that was a really good combination. I also like going out to Arizona, the Southwest there. It's a little bit warmer out that way. Yeah, we go to a lot of really awesome places.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
It's
I
nice that
love
it
San
jumps around.
Antonio. Yeah, San Antonio was a lot of fun. I had never been to the city and walking the river there, and that was enjoyable. But looking forward to Washington.
Yep.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
All right. On that note, let's head into the scenario.
She was saying that we're the perfect company to talk to because we have been there for 25 years. In fact, I think there was just one conference since 1984 that Gemcor was not represented, and it was only because we had a family emergency that year and couldn't attend. And that was 1989.
Wow.
So we have been a consistent presence ever since. Allie and I were just 2 years old. No, just kidding. I wish.
In diapers. Yeah, it was awesome.
I wish I was a high school junior, but whatever. No, we've been around a long time and we've seen PLRB evolve. And one of the great things that we find, so one of the things about Gemcor is that we don't have a marketing team. We've never marketed. We are who we are, and we make going to PLRB a priority because it is our big marketing push in the sense that we're going to connect with the clients that use us.
Yep.
And make sure that they're happy and that we're doing our job successfully. And it's our chance to actually see people in face to face. And usually in the expo, you have time to pull someone aside and have those one-on-one conversations. But in addition to meeting the current clients, then there's always the people that come by curious of what you do.
Right.
And then you can have those conversations. But for us, where the conference has evolved is not just meeting the claims managers and the decision makers, and that is very, very important, but also the people around you too are also very valuable as well.
Yeah.
Gemcor does more than just, value claims for insurance companies. We're also jewelers. We're also, in the diamond market. So there's chances and opportunities to talk business with the people next to you and across from you, and also the independent adjusters that might not have heard you, but wow, I service 5 clients that could really use Gemcor.
Yep.
So there's a lot of connections that can happen between just the people that you wouldn't think would have value to you. Like, for example, Gemcor talk, we don't have to deal with casualty. Yeah. We don't have to deal with cat losses. However, the people that have the cat losses may be looking for, a ring, and it becomes, or they're just curious about maybe lab grown jewelry.
Yeah.
And so you talking with them, and it's like, oh wow, well, I know someone at this company. Let me introduce you to them. So there's a lot of connections that can be made, but it's more importantly for us, we just really take the time to get to meet the people who make our lives complete because they're our clients. That's our focus. Getting to see them, getting to connect with them, and then everything else is gravy to us, and we get a lot out of it. Just to be there. we must be there. That is our big show.
I wanted to say, yeah, first off, yeah, on the PLRB side, thank you both because you're huge supporters of us, and yeah, it's always great to see you at the claims conference. But I will say, Anna, as an old casualty person, you never know when once will handle a property damage claim that might involve jewelry, and there you might not have a agreed price policy or anything under any contract, and you just got to come up with what the value is. So again, if I want to now, I can take over as your marketing person and say, yeah, there's a whole new world of casualty people you need to talk to too, because they get involved in some of that stuff as well.
I think that's a great point. Never take any conversation for granted.
Right.
So, if this is your first PLRB and you're watching this podcast or you're a veteran, just be authentic. You never know who you're talking to. You never know where they're going to go in that company. You never know who they could introduce you to.
Right.
It's a very communal community, right? And so just have as many conversations as you can. I definitely notice when I'm talking to somebody in the expo hall, just filling time, and they're looking down the halls waiting for a more important person to come by. And I just want to say to them, are you not, aware of who I could be introducing you to? So it's one of those, just have the conversations. If you haven't signed up for PLRB yet and you're watching this podcast, sign up, because the marketing doesn't even have to happen ahead of time.
Right.
You will get value out of walking the halls. You will get value out of catching up with a person, a veteran. Dan and I were just talking about our pulses on this industry. I try to follow all my publications are insurance related. I read a lot of the magazines. PLRB keeps me up to date with, education. But it's when we go to PLRB that we will hear, oh, so-and-so merged, or this person is now at that company. And you just catch up with what's going on in this quickly evolving, fluid industry that we're in.
Yep.
So it's absolutely worth going.
Yeah, the technology and the technology for InsurTech is booming,
right?
And the companies are there reflecting that. So it's interesting to see as an industry where the industry is going, just simply by having conversations and looking to see who's presenting.
Yeah.
And like to your point, Mike, it's you never know. You never know what's going to come out, and there might be a casualty company that needs you. So and even though the expo hall might get flooded when it's lunchtime or dinner time, and there's times when the attendees are invited to come to the expo. When it's downtime, there should be no downtime. Walk around, smile, make conversations and friends, and there's rows and rows and rows of great companies there, and great conversations to be had. Plus, some good swag to pick up too.
Exactly.
No one wants to go home with that stuff,
right? Exactly. They don't want to ship it back. So yeah, and
the pens are great, people.
Yes.
The pens.
And I always get my lip balm there too, which is
lip balm,
to me,
pens, sanitizer. Sometimes
back scratchers. You get celebrities.
Oh, the celebrities.
Those purple dinosaurs were a big hit. Last year, if you didn't see those. But
rubber duckies.
Yes.
Oh, how can I forget? I met Tim Tebow. I mean,
you never know.
That was my favorite time with ALS, I think, or ALE. I think he was with. Yeah, Mike Tyson. We met Tyson. So yes, there's big celebrities that come through.
Never know. Yes. Or
never know.
Diamondologist of the world, I might be running around there too. I don't know.
You'll be in our booth. We'll have we'll do a podcast from our booth with you'll be our guest. So yeah.
No, it is so fun and very meaningful. And once we go, Allie can attest to this, but when we say we do no marketing, we look forward to meeting lots of new faces.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing the faces that we know and use us and for validation. But then post conference, we have all those business cards and all those conversations, and we do actively follow up.
Right.
And, business tends to pick up after PLRB for a reason.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
That would be a tidbit. I'd actually, join LinkedIn, definitely connect with whoever you meet on LinkedIn, stay active with keeping in touch with them. Again, Doesn't have to be your industry. You don't, or a potential customer of yours. You never know who they know.
Yep.
And having friends in this industry, it just gives you people to look forward to seeing next year, the next event or a regional event. But of all the conferences we've attended, I should also mention the quality of the attendees is really important. I've been to conferences and they're expensive to attend as a vendor. You don't have endless budgets, right? But you could go to a conference to see the guest list. That might twist your arm, but some of them might be a panelist. Sometimes they leave right after they present.
Right.
Here you have your presenters are then walking the hall.
Yep.
And a lot of times you can also go into some of these classes as well. There's a lot to learn. It is definitely an educational conference, but real quality attendees for whatever side of the industry you're in.
Right. And if anybody can't tell from listening to our podcast, we have two very engaging folks too. So that's what you both do very well is you're very upbeat, positive, always a smile on your face, invited folks to stop in and talk to you because we'll get a comment that, geez, foot traffic wasn't very good. And I've walked by folks that are sitting at their booth behind the table and looking at their phones while potential customers are walking up and down the aisleway there. Maybe get up and engage and say hello and have a smile on your face.
We're also a safe space too. So we have our share of people that are basically, like Ali said, they're sought after. Yep. We know when there's that wandering eye looking for the claims manager from that company and the VP of that company, and we don't operate that way. So we're just friendly. We'll come to talk diamonds and roses. It's that's what we're known for, our bling and our roses, or orchids, whatever we decide to do this year. But it's always fun and we look forward to it. And the events are so great, not just the expo hall, but also the gatherings after are also meaningful. And PLRB is always on the calendar, and it's always a highlight of the year for both of us.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's really powerful to come into it with that kind of openness and positivity. That's really great. We're going to head into our takeaways.
All right.
Quiet does not mean wasted.
Right.
Walk around the hall, meet new faces, don't be afraid, be open. And you never know what opportunity is awaiting around the corner or around the aisle, so to speak, at PLRB. It's a great experience, and just, go in but remember, this is also professional time. So get the names, get the cards, make the contacts, reach out on LinkedIn after, email, etc. The claims managers are meeting so many people, the vendor coordinators, whoever's attending, it doesn't matter, but just make that reach out afterwards and, continue the conversation after the conference always works.
Yep. I think it's a great tip to reach out afterwards because, we've seen folks who blanket market email before the conference, and that can be effective sometimes. But I can remember back in my prior life, I would get all these things from property-related vendors, and I'm like, if you at least read my name and looked at my title on LinkedIn that you said you wanted to connect via or send me an email, you would see that I'm a casualty person, so I might not be interested in that. So that's an excellent point, is it can be a lot more effective once you met somebody, had a conversation, then reach out, do that fun stuff versus just the shotgun approach of, I'm going to email everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. We've done preemptive where we recognize names and we'll go through the list ahead of time and we'll say, hey, we're at booth 1901, stop by. But to your point, it's way more effective, especially that the person knows who they're talking to, right? So we're very good about that.
Yep. And you did your homework. Yeah. If you know who you're reaching out to beforehand, that's perfect. Yes. It's just the shotgun approach of I'm going to reach out to all 10,000 attendees and hope I get 3 of them to pop by. That's probably not the most effective thing. But what do I know? I'm no marketer. So there you go.
No, it's valuable information from your side. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Mike. So this time I got to ask, where can a service provider go
Ooh.
to learn more if they're interested in learning more about the claims conference?
Well, we have plenty of again. Anytime, go out to our website. We'll always have banners running across, or if you look under the events tab up there at the top, you can see which conferences we have coming up. And if you go out to the site for the actual meeting conference, you'll also see information there on how to get involved, how to exhibit or sponsor. And likewise, you can also become an affiliate member of PLRB. So there you'll get some discounted rates on attending and exhibiting or sponsoring, and or if you're really interested in stuff like our educational information, WeatherCat, there's different tiers of memberships that you can join as an affiliate to get all sorts of wonderful information from PLRB. So yes, our main members are insurance carriers, but we love our service providers, and we would love to invite them to join as affiliate members.
All right, I'm going to put that information in the show notes, and there you'll also find a recap of the key points from this episode and links to our social media, our LinkedIn. And don't forget to subscribe and rate us, and please give us a call at 630-509-8704. And no, thanks for joining us for these last two episodes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see you.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you at PLRB.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
In Washington.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
The views and opinions expressed in this resource are those of the individual speaker and not necessarily those of the Property and Liability Resource Bureau, its membership, or any organization with which the presenter is employed or affiliated. The information, ideas, and opinions are presented as information only and not as legal advice or offers of representation. Individual policy language and state laws vary, and listeners should rely on guidance from their companies and counsel as appropriate.